Today we're talking about all things staging. Hi, I'm Cheryl Vecchio with the Vecchio Group at eXp Realty. And today I have with me the owner of Staging Texas, Miss Cheryl Mosley, and she is our staging partner in all things listing for real estate. We are so excited to have her as a partner, and I'm very excited to be interviewing her today. So she's going to let us in on the secret of everything that has anything to do with staging. So first of all, can you just give us an overview of what staging really is? Because I think that's some confusion.
In a nutshell, staging your home is preparing your home to put it on the market. As a stager, I come in and I give suggestions for what to do so that it looks the best in the photographs online. Sometimes it's decluttering, sometimes it's cleaning, sometimes it's removing furniture, sometimes it's rearranging furniture. But all in all, staging is just a necessary element in the process of putting your house on the market because you want to appeal to the broadest audience.
You know, you took the words out of my mouth because we believe so strongly in the power of staging that we require it on all of our listings because we want a homeowner's home to look as best it can be to a potential buyer. So I know those are my reasons for why staging is, important. Tell me from a stager's perspective why this is important.
Well, I think it's important because when you live in a house for a long time, you kind of don't see your house objectively. I put my house on the market 12 years ago and I had to stage my own house because I had way too much stuff. Way too many family pictures, but it's just so important to stage.
I agree. And if you staged my house and I put my house on the market, you'd be telling me oh, you need to get rid of this,
Yeah.
Cheryl. That's too much furniture.
Right.
Those kinds of things. So we talked about why this works so well for an occupied home because we need to go through our house. And I always say we're removing signs of human life so that a buyer can see themselves in the house.
Right.
One of the things that you do that I love is I love how you show people how to deal with that because they still live there, and like the bathroom thing and all those kinds of things. Mm-hmm. So, but let's talk about an empty house. Why is staging a house that would normally sit empty better than just letting it sell empty?
That's a very good question. Buyers love the wow factor. The HGTV staging shows. I mean, buyers love to walk in a home and feel like it's home. When you walk into a vacant home, it's usually echoey. It's just cold. There's no personality. When you stage it, you're putting rugs and furniture and art and some personality, some lamps to add, some light, and it helps the buyers attach emotionally to the home.
I agree. I always say, and you've said this, and I copy you. And why do you think builders spend so much money on model homes?
Right.
Because
the buyers love the wow factor. They love walking in and go, ooh, ah,
And they emotionally attach to the home.
They do.
Yeah.
And in 15 years of business, about 4 times the buyers wanted to buy all my inventory because it was daunting, the idea of having to go out and try to replicate what I had done in the house.
Yeah.
So that's a real compliment.
Yeah, I can see that. I'll take the house and all the stuff.
Yes, please.
So talk to us about the process. When we work together, we make an appointment for you to go to the seller's home. What happens during that meeting?
Well, after the introduction and all that, and I tell them I don't bite, and I ask them to, they decide what room we start off with, and we go room to room, and I give suggestions about paint colors, things to remove, some possible things that could be added to add some personality or flair. There's a lot of sellers that, they don't have a lot of things, or they don't have a lot of new things. And, sometimes just by adding a few little touches, whether it be art or a tablescape, it really changes the room. But then when we complete the every single room of the house, I leave them with a list of all of my recommendations. And then I send Cheryl a copy of the list so that she can have it in her records. And then it's up to the homeowner to
what they do,
what they're going to do with it.
Yeah. Now, I love that. I always tell homeowners that it's up to them what they decide to do. But in reality, our pictures look so fabulous because the house has been staged.
The very best thing in the whole wide world is when they take all of your recommendations and it sells right after it hits the market.
Right after.
It's just the best.
Tell us about common mistakes that people make when they try to do this without a stager.
Well, I could use the analogy that I'm not a plumber, I'm not an electrician, I'm a professional certified stager, and this is what I do. When a homeowner stages it themselves, they don't actually see all that I see. When I come in as a stager, I come in with fresh eyes. I am not attached to your things, your family photos, your this and that. As a stager, I try to just give recommendations to depersonalize so that the buyer that walks in doesn't just see you living there. They want to see themselves living there.
I could sit here and talk all day about why you are such a great staging partner and why we need to stage. But tell me some of the success stories that you've had that can help our listeners or our audience understand the importance of this.
Well, in over 15 years, I have several that I can think of. The most exciting ones are when they chose not to stage and listed it vacant or listed it with no staging consultation, and the pictures didn't turn out very well. And then after several months, they call me in and I stage it, and then it sells right away.
Yeah.
Those are wonderful stories.
Yes.
And, the ones where they tried to sell it without spending the money to stage it. And one house in Willis, that it was on the market a year and did not sell. And I staged it, and it sold within the first 30 days. And needless to say, the realtor and the homeowner were over the moon.
Well, we know that homes sell faster and for a higher price when they are staged. And in this market, I think it's really important because homes are on the market longer. One of the things we have to consider is when your home's on the market for an extended period of time, and then you start talking about price decreases, it's really better just to stage the house in the beginning and not worry about having to decrease the price on the back end. Okay, we know what staging is. Now, why do we want to do this? Tell our audience why they would consider staging.
You only have one chance for a first impression. And when that buyer walks in, statistically, I think it's NAR says the buyers make a decision and form a connection with that house within the first 15 seconds. So you want to wow them. And one of the examples that I give is, remember way back when you had that first date? It's been a long time, but when you have that first date, what do? You get your hair done, your makeup done, you might buy a new outfit. You want to present yourself the best foot forward, because when you open that door for that date, you want him to be wowed. In this analogy, the date is your buyer. And, you want that buyer to walk in your house and ooh and ah. And you don't want them to have to be overwhelmed by clutter or personal style. You want to depersonalize as much as possible.
I agree. It is a first date and it is that emotional connection. And, really people purchase homes as an emotional decision. And then they look for data to back up their emotional connection with that house. I mean, we all have an emotional connection with our homes, and that's how we buy homes. So this is the best way to dress up for that first date. Okay, well, you heard it. That's everything about staging, and we hope you learned something today. If you have any questions at all about staging your home or preparing it to sell, or really any questions about real estate, please feel free to reach out or comment below. Thanks so much for watching.